The other day I was out for my usual jog. Same pace, same route, same headphones, same everything. And about halfway through, I realized that something was off. And what it was that I realized I had no idea what day it was. Not in a crazy schizophrenic way, but just genuinely, I had no clue. And normally, if it's a Sunday, I get this feeling, I'm not sure if you get it. You don't even need to check the calendar. There's just a low level tension in the background. Work tomorrow, alarm, routine, something waiting for you, right? There's a boogeyman in the closet waiting. But this time there was nothing. No anticipation, no dread, nothing. No sense of tomorrow at all, to be honest. Just the run. And for a moment, it actually scared me. Because, not because I miss the work, not because I love 9 to 5, but because that absence of that fearful feeling, that emptiness, it just left a void in me. It was like the day had no shape. And then it clicked that I hadn't escaped structure. I just had stopped being given it. I still had things I was working towards, lots of things. I still had a path and a plan. It just wasn't being imposed on me anymore. And it's a very different experience to what we're used to. And that's when I started thinking differently about the 9 to 5. We talk about it as if it's some artificial prison, like it purely exists to exploit people. But I don't think that's the true story. I think the 9 to 5 exists because humans, we need structure more than we admit. Without structure, something uncomfortable shows up very quickly. And it's not freedom, it's not peace, it's the question, what am I actually doing with my life? And it sounds philosophical, but when it hits you raw, with no schedule, no deadlines, no external pressure, it's unsettling. The 9 to 5, it does something important. It tells you when to wake up, where to be, what progress looks like. It compresses life into manageable units. And for most people, that's not a trap. It's protection, right? And a lot of people, myself included, romanticize escaping the 9 to 5, whatever that means, right? They imagine endless freedom, no alarm, no boss, no structure. But they don't think about what replaces it, because there's a vacuum left. Because if you remove structure and you don't consciously attempt to build a better one to replace it, you don't get happiness, you get just drift. The uncomfortable part is this. When structure disappears, meaning doesn't automatically find or appear in its place, which most people assume it will. The 9 to 5 does something very simple and very effective. It answers questions for you. When you're supposed to wake up, what you're supposed to be doing today, and what progress looks by the end of the week, by Friday. And when those questions are answered, your mind, it stays quiet. But take those answers away, and suddenly you're left with much bigger ones. Why am I doing this? What am I actually building? And if no one's watching, does it actually matter? That's the part that people don't talk about. That's why that moment when I was running really mattered. The fear, it wasn't about work. It was about the absence of someone or something telling me what the day was for. And realizing that, properly realizing it, was sobering. The 9 to 5, it's not a prison. It's a structure you're given before you're capable of creating your own. Some people outgrow it, some people don't, and neither is a failure. But if you remove structure before you've built something to replace it, you don't get freedom, you get silence.